Happy New Year, everyone. We are here in 2024. This Sunday begins the brand new calendar year for Sunday school. And since it's the beginning of a new year, people are going to have New Year's resolutions and they're going to say, I'm going to go to church and I'm going to go to Sunday school. So are you ready to receive new people in your classes? What I want to talk about in this video is building healthy habits for Sunday school for the year of 2024. This video is going to be a little bit longer. It's going to be broken down into sections. So I want to encourage you to hang with me for the duration of this video. And we are going to be so excited about what God is going to do this year in our Sunday school ministry. There are two roles I want to encourage you to enlist people to serve in by this Sunday. So go ahead and send a text or make a phone call or two. It would be great if every class had a door greeter and a room greeter this Sunday to receive people as they make their way into the class. A door greeter, someone that stands outside of the door and greets people as they make their way in. And a room greeter is someone that helps people get situated as they make their way into the room, to find a seat, to grab a curriculum book, invite them to grab some refreshments, and to help get people settled. Make sure these folks are hospitable, they love people, they are comfortable talking to people they may not know, and it would be really awesome to create that culture of inviting, that culture of hospitality, and help cultivate that culture of community within the class by having a door greeter and a room greeter every Sunday. You can set up a schedule for this so it's not the same people every single Sunday, and do what works best for your class in creating this schedule. But go ahead and enlist a door greeter and a room greeter for this Sunday. As we talk about creating community, one way to do this in a class is to provide refreshments. Sounds kind of weird, but food just brings people together. Now, this doesn't have to be the big breakfast buffet bar, but something simple like some finger foods and some coffee, some juice, some water. And this helps kind of keep that environment in a warm, friendly, welcoming atmosphere. And maybe you decide that you need to start doing refreshments once a month or twice a month, or maybe every Sunday. It depends on your class dynamic. Whatever it may be, refreshments are a good way to help cultivate community. Another way is to provide some sticky name tags such as these. You can get these at Walmart or Office Depot. You can order them online as well. But especially for this Sunday, it'd be a good idea to have some of those on hand and have everyone in the class wear them. Because again, you might have some newcomers. They might not know who people are in the class. You might not know who they are. But it just helps remind people of who people are. And it's important to learn people's names and to address people by names and to get to know people. Another thing, as we think about 2024 and cultivating community, is scheduling some time outside of Sunday for your class to get together and do something, whether it's a cookout in someone's backyard or you're going to a special event, whatever it may be. Get together with your classes and do so as often as you can. Now, you might not be able to get everybody together every single time, but if you schedule these often enough, people will come. And if these relationships become a priority in their lives, then these class fellowships will become a priority in their lives. And also attending Sunday school will become a priority in their lives. And one more thing in way of creating community is, do you have a culture that is inviting? There's always room for at least one more person in your class. So who is it that you will invite to your class this Sunday? Who is it that your class members will invite to your class this Sunday? How will you invite them? A personal invitation is always best, whether it's through the phone or face-to-face. But also, how will your class receive them? Now, remember, we talked about door greeters and room greeters. If you have those in place, those are great first steps to help people feel welcome and adjusted and wanted in a class. The first Sunday in January is a great opportunity to gather the information of the people in your class. Maybe you can pass out a piece of paper and ask people to fill out their name, their cell phone number, email address, home address, so that you can have up-to-date, accurate information, and so we can as well at the church. Now, with that, I want to encourage you to create a system to where you have a 24-hour access to a class roster, whether you do it on a Google Sheet or an Excel spreadsheet that you can share. Doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you do it. You as a teacher and the leaders in your class need to be able to have access to contact information for the people in your class 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just in case a need arises. And so I want to encourage you to go ahead and gather information and just to keep it updated. Also get the information from people who are visiting and make sure that that information is correct. We do have the triplicate forms in every Sunday school class folder for adults, and that's there for you to use, and ask these folks to fill it out. It just takes just a couple of minutes. If they don't want to fill it out, just have someone in your class sit next to them and fill out the information that they're willing to give. We're not going to, bombard people at their home on Sunday afternoon. This is just so we can have information, we can enter it in, and that you can follow up. And then lastly, also take attendance in your class. It's important to take solid attendance so that we can not just see how many people are here every week, but you can see the attendance patterns of your folks. And also you can follow up with people who wind up missing for a week or two in a row, so you can see what's going on and make sure that you're checking in on them, making sure that they're getting awesome care. So make sure under these administrative things that you take care of these, and this will help you in the long run. In addition to teaching the Word of God, it's important that we minister and serve the people who God has placed in our care. And I want to challenge you to do something this Sunday in the afternoon after you get home. And that is to make a personal follow-up contact with everyone who attended your class. You might be thinking, Robbie, we had 35 people here. How am I going to do it? Well, enlist some other people in your class to kind of spread the responsibility out. So you're not having to contact 35 people. Maybe, enlist 3 or 4 people and break that down a little bit. But if you're in a smaller class, you can do this. You can do this in a variety of ways. Number 1, you can send a text message. Number 2, you can send an email. Or number 3, you can make a phone call if you wish. What's important about this is that it will, number 1, help people feel noticed, and number 2, help them feel valued. They will be blown away that they will get a contact of, in some way, shape, or form, from either the person that taught their Sunday school class or someone who was in the class that said, hey, we're just glad to see you in Sunday school today. We look forward to seeing you again next week. That follow-up can be just that short, that simple, and it will go such a long way into continuing to develop that positive momentum in your class. As it relates to follow-up, how do you regularly communicate with your class? Some classes currently have a Facebook page. Some classes have a text thread. Other classes have an email thread. But if you don't currently have one, I want to encourage you to establish one, and to establish it by this Sunday. Go ahead and figure out what it is that will work best for your class, and to go ahead and set that up. Now, if you teach children, you're going to have to communicate to parents. And I want to let you know that a text message, over 90% of the time, gets read within the first minute of delivery. So when someone sees the text message come across on their phone, within the first 60 seconds, they will at least read it. So that's just a little information, maybe help you discern how to communicate. But it's important that you set up communication and that you communicate with your classes outside of Sundays, just to keep in touch with people, to let them know what's going on, to let you know that you love them, you're praying for them, so on and so forth. And also, think about, in ministry, the spiritual disciplines we're wanting to establish in the life of the people in our classes. The 2 most fundamental spiritual disciplines are the discipline of prayer and the discipline of Bible reading. And how are we leading people to effectively engage in their relationship with God through prayer and reading of the Word? We're really leaning into this right now as a church, as you've seen by our Bible reading plans, and you've seen by our different reading plans that are available in Sunday school curriculum and things like that. We want people to get into the Word so that the Word gets into them. And nothing promotes spiritual transformation more than a consistent engagement with God's Word. So encourage people to engage in these 2 spiritual disciplines as they start off the new year. We could get into more spiritual disciplines later, but these are the foundational ones that will really help people grow and excel in their relationship with God. Is your class getting larger? Good. That is a great indication that God is working in a big way. But classes can only get so large to where you either run out of space or they become more like a church within the church. And that's not what we're wanting to accomplish. Is it time for your class to multiply and to birth a new class out of it? If so, I want to encourage you to come to me. We've had a great success this past year in birthing new classes. New classes help engage new people into smaller groups. It's a great on-ramp for people who are just attending a worship service and they're thinking about going to Sunday school, but they're not sure. But they see that a new class is birthed and they say, I'll try that because it's brand new. There's really nothing to lose going to a brand new class, and it creates a dynamic and an environment of, hey, this is something new. We want people to come. We want to engage people who haven't yet engaged in Sunday school. It also gives an opportunity for people in your class to take up leadership roles in either teaching the Bible or helping to be greeters and things like that, for people to serve one another. It also helps community cultivate in a greater way, because the larger class gets, the harder it is for community to be cultivated. So if you have a class of, let's say, 50, 55 people, it's hard to really cultivate community versus a class of 10 to 15 people. It's much easier to cultivate community in a class of that smaller size. So if you're looking forward to multiplying, I would love to be able to talk with you, and we could sit down and map out a plan and a process for your group to multiply into another group. It becomes an extension of your group. It's almost like a class family tree, if you will. And it's awesome to watch God do this in the lives of classes. And we see more people come into an intentional small group Bible study where they study the Word, they get to know people, and God does a work in their life. So come see me, talk to me, reach out, and I'll be happy to help you multiply your class as we continue to grow and make disciples here at First Baptist Church Statesboro. Well, thanks for sticking with me through this video. I hope you have a great Sunday in Sunday school. Until next week's video, take care and God bless.